This is the Little Prairie Club, and it's a place where things have happened since the 1800s, as I understand.
The battery is still a major
Theater, speakers, music. Theater, speakers, music. And there is another beautiful.
And what would I write about if I stayed inside the doll's house, this flower world I grew up in? You gave me a potential. I love you, but I'm growing out of what you gave me. I'm saving it inside me, and I'm growing outwards. Let me fight my monsters. You made me. You made me. Exactly as much of Colin's memory as I need. The sun was shining. Colin was reading Political Economy in the green lawn chair. I danced around magnetic fields and mowed the lawn. We walked to school together in the morning, and finally, it rained. Colin wanted me to walk faster. Always wanted me to walk faster. Well, I just wanted to trudge and identify the ferns. I woke up early one morning with errands to run and decided I would bump into Colin and his new hoochie-ass girlfriend. I shaved my armpits. I put on a tight shirt I got in the little boys section of the Salvation Army. Smeared on my chapstick. Fun life, I say. Fun life. I imagine I'm in a Mountain Dew commercial. And I'm on a beach with a bevy of my sinewy friends who are always dancing. I meander through downtown. Oh, their hair somewhere together. Most likely ensnared in a shadow. But they'll drop the spoons in that strawberry milkshake when I slide past. Free the bird. Fun life. Toucan Sam. Okay, they're not at the coffee shop. Or the grocery store. The bridge. The magazine stand. Drive to school. Embarrassed at myself. Oh, of course. He emerges from the library. Minus Uchi's girlfriend. I stick my hips out in the sun, and I make 6 guns at him. He turns back to me, he makes 6 guns back at me. Oh, this town is not big enough for the 2 of us. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. What are you doing here? I'm, reading up on some young anarchists. He pronounces his words, stretches and snapping like rubber bands. I perform a dance to make the conversation like I have to pee. Oh my. How are you? Okay, so he's uncomfortable. I grin. Sunshine on the apples of my cheeks. Oh, well, I am, well, just meeting some people. Oh, how are you? Good. I got a job scrubbing toilets. Nice! My friend from North Carolina went home. Oh, you had a friend here? From North Carolina? You know, Leslie. Ooh. Sunshine on the apples of my cheeks, sticky, and my eyelashes on the beach, and I'm always dancing. Shit, Colin, but things were going so well with you two, right? He just shook his head, laughed at me. It's so easy to make that journey. You'll know when the time comes. You'll fall in love with someone who's perpetually leaving you. Someone who beats you at Scrabble, talks with big words, tells all stories as if they're blues songs. You will memorize the features of someone whose eyes are perpetually bored, whose lips are perpetually amused. Eventually, I convinced Colin to quit drowning out my life. The topography of Colin's life consisted of emergency adrenaline shots, jail, sometimes near-death experiences. The topography of my life was making up a name for a neighborhood cat, a new poem, the gossip with my friends. His life was skyscrapers. And my life took place on a much smaller scale. But that's done now. We are proportionate. On Wednesday, I walked down into the forest, down the path to the little wooden bridge over the creek. And I stood on the bridge, and I noticed that there was this log laying across the stream that someone had lined these little rocks along, like multicolored frogs across this log. So I took off my shoes and my socks, set them down on the edge of the bridge. And then I jumped onto the bank, climbed onto that log, and I walked across it. Carefully, nimbly. Only one of the rocks fell in the water. And I squatted in the pebbles. I fished out these interesting rocks for myself. I cleaned them. And I held them. like Huck Finn with my jeans rolled up and my back to the bridge, my 2 empty little brown boots. I sang to the forest. I hummed. I made up waltzes. I belted out Russian drinking songs. I opened my mouth wide and sang, "Find the cost of freedom, buried in the ground. Mother Earth will swallow me, lay my body down." January 25th, 2003. Very little trouble at the airport. My tight jeans and cropped bunny hair sweater seem to have made all the difference. Of course, the use of my Israeli friend's address. The only question was, where did you meet her? The woman behind the glass appeared not to notice my shaking hands. I took a shared taxi to Jerusalem and realized that the Holy Land is full of rocks. It seems like driving, you could just fall right off these hills. My introduction to curfew was gentle. A rush outside in the midst of our training to buy lunch before the shops closed in Beit Sahur. There was music. Singing in Arabic pouring into the stream somewhere. But by the time the group of us had our shawarma and our falafel, the noise had become the bleat of military jeep horns, the squeal of a car, shouting over a bullhorn, border police, or IDF, I don't remember which. as our training continued. There were these noises and flashing lights outside, and I remember thinking, none of this seems real to me, because I was inside this building with these people, everyone just extending theories into the air. See, the scariest thing for a non-Jewish American in talking about Palestinian self-determination is the fear of being or sounding anti-Semitic. The people of Israel are suffering. Jewish people have a long history of oppression, and we still have some responsibility for that. But I think it's important that we begin to draw that firm distinction between the policies of Israel as a state and Jewish people. I think that's kind of a no-brainer, but there's a really strong pressure to conflate the two. So I try to ask myself, well, whose interest does that serve to identify Israeli policy with all Jewish people? These are ideas I'm having, and they're evolving, and I'm really new to Israel-Palestine, so I don't always know the political implications of my words. Notes from training. When talking, no hearsay. Call hospitals and official sources. Use quotes. Don't appear to judge rightness or wrongness. Nonviolence. Don't touch those we're confronting. Don't run. Carry nothing that could be used as a weapon, and no self-initiating actions. January 27th. Attack in Gaza the night before last. Killed 14. Injured around 30. The West Bank and Gaza are under extremely strict curfew right now until after the election tomorrow. We're not allowed to leave your house for food, nothing. I'm still in Jerusalem, aiming to get to Rafah so I can actually join the other internationals who are trying to prevent the demolition of civilian homes. I'm relatively sheltered here. I know this is something I cannot understand right now. I mean, the reality of curfew, of checkpoints. I'm sort of embarrassed about how long it takes me to realize in my gut, people live like this. At 10 p.m., I traveled to Rafah. Jahan met the cab, soldiers at bus station. Bomb market in Gaza City. Children grab my ass, throw garbage at my head, scream, "What's your name?" Sleep. Intent. Gunshot through tent. Start smoking. February 1st. We started into the field. 500 nationals plus Jahan. Jenny spoke over the loudspeaker saying, "Do not shoot, we are unarmed civilians!" Naming the countries we came from and letting the IDF know that our intention was to get that man's body. The first response from the IDF was shouting, "Go back!" And then they shot about 20 meters in front of us. As we continued in the direction of the body, the shots shifted, some coming 2 to 4 meters in front of us, and these two high-pitched whistling sounds above our heads. So we stopped! And Jenny requested to speak to the commanding officer! A white truck with a blue light rolled up next to us. The person in the truck spoke over the loudspeaker saying, "You'll get the body later." The white truck cruised away. And then a tank and a bulldozer began moving towards us from the IDF side of the checkpoint. They created this mound of dirt between us and the olive grove. Smoke blew. They created this mound of dirt and shot repeatedly into it. This is poorly drawn picture of the dead body that we just carried. His hand was poised off the stretcher as if he was doing the crawl, throwing a baseball. February 4th, in Dr. Samir's garden. Fig tree. Small buds. Dill. Lettuce. Garlic. Deflated soccer ball. White plastic lawn chair. Blanket. Drying on the line. I went into the kitchen and I stayed for 2 hours. The tank stayed too, so no work, no school. Soldier came with a sledgehammer. Tank started firing. Family is watching Tom and Jerry in the kitchen. I play with the children to distract them. Dr. Samir says,